the mentoring. Let's see, how do I do this? Go clear through. Okay, I sent everybody the slides, and so I'm going to go to the slideshow. Okay, so share. Let's see, let's go to the slides. Okay, so we're going to go to the slideshow. Start from the beginning. Okay, if I'm going to take a look at people here. Sorry. Okay, wave at me if you see the slides. Kind of wave at me if you see the slides. Okay, good, good. Okay, so we'll get started. Today is October 8th, 2019, and the fall mentoring, and we're going to talk about what is the Ascension. The assignment for this week is I will get my intention, thoughts, emotions, and actions in alignment with the Ascension. Now, that's a pretty tall order, but we're going to talk about how to do this with this session. So I'm going to get the slides going. Now, I'm showing this slide again because the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is very important, and we need to get ourselves from a physiologic and safety state up into the higher movements of self-actualization. That's where we need to be in order to get ourselves ready for the Ascension, and that involves morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, lack of prejudice, acceptance of facts, tolerance, those kind of things. But most importantly, it means we move into love consciousness. Now, the map of consciousness shows us that enlightenment and pure consciousness is 700 and above on the scale of David Hawkins, MD, PhD. He actually told me I could use his chart anytime before he died, and we had a great conversation, and he was vibrating in the last part of his life in unconditional love and pure consciousness. He wasn't judging, he wasn't causing any problems, and so it was very good. Boy, I kind of went through the slide a little quick here, and it's a little hard, so I'm just going to talk about this. We talked about this last week. The law of association, the beings and people we associate with and focus upon, become our lifestyle, our thoughts, our destiny, and our future. Now, we'll go to the law of attraction, which is whenever you focus on, about, read about, talk about intensely, you're going to attract more and become that consciousness. And what we manifest inside of ourselves will manifest outside and create that reality. So those of you, I pray that you're doing this, that you are manifesting the 24-strand DNA, and if you've already done it, start manifesting 48 strands, then start manifesting 96 strands. We need 96 to be ready to go into the fifth dimension. So just keep it going and keep those going and do it for your friends and family, and I think you will find that continuing this manifestation actually helps your intellect, it helps your emotional state, it helps everything about you. What you think you create, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you become. Emotions are an outward expression of the body. To heal the body, we should change and heal our emotions. So I've sent everybody the weekly accountability. And in that, it talks about having positive thoughts, positive emotions, and positive people around you. This is a part of the law of attraction. Because as you do this, keep positive thoughts, positive emotions, positive people around you, it makes you more able to manifest, believe it or not, when you're in that higher state of positive energy and positive emotions. Now, it's interesting, we're watching lots of videos on manifesting and creating and going to the void. And as we do this, we can create new energy within our body. We can shift our mind. We can shift our physiology. I had a real big example of this morning. Yesterday, when I went into my manifesting, I focused on my pancreas producing insulin. So when I went to bed, I just, I thought in my mind, oh, I probably need to take my full dose of insulin tonight. And so I did. Well, I ended up bottoming out because I manifested that my pancreas would produce insulin, and I didn't take that into account when I took my dose of insulin. So I ended up having a very low episode this morning. And in fact, it was so low, I had to get up, and Vicki helped me a lot by bringing me maple syrup to bring my sugar up, but I went through a very low occurrence. So whatever we start manifesting, it's going to start producing. So what is the ascension? The ascension is evolution. It's an evolution that has been forecast for the last 26,000 years. That's the last time a group of humans went through evolution. And we are at the end of that 26,000 year period. And the ascension will move us into the fifth dimension, or density, with Earth and other fifth dimensional locations. Vibrational with love consciousness, peace, and abundance. So when we go into this fifth dimension, we're not going to have wars. We're not going to have people there that even want to create that kind of energy. Right here and now, we have energy of people trying to cause a civil war here in the United States. We don't want that to happen. We want to move peacefully into our next evolution. So that's why we are doing these talks, is to get more of us involved in manifesting that peaceful movement of energy. Okay, so here's another slide. What is the ascension? When we change the way we think about things, the things around us change. Now, Wayne Dyer didn't originate that. He actually read that from another text. And to go to the void, manifest and visualize and create our desires. So we are creating our reality. We align with the divine when we are trying to become divine humans. And that's what we're evolving into, is divine humans. Now the next slide, what is the ascension? What we manifest inside of us will manifest outside of us. So if we are manifesting peace within ourselves, that peace is coming out around us. So we, you and me, you and all of us, we need to learn how to manifest the peacefulness, the higher mind consciousness. The mind is the brain in action. What we focus upon becomes that. And when we add our heart's love, it makes our brain's manifestation 1,000,000 times more powerful. We work in millivolts in our brain, kilovolts in our heart. So when we add that, it's 1,000,000 times more powerful than just doing it with our brain. So it's very important we learn how to manifest. Oops, I went too fast. Sorry. I got to learn not to touch that so much. This is the Ascension. We wire new information in the brain by repetition, adding new thoughts, new choices, new behaviors, lead to new experiences, new emotions, new personal reality leads to a new personality, and a new reality. Our brain reflects our reality. To change, we need to be greater than our reality currently. We wire our brain as if that reality is in the present moment, signaling new genes in new ways. Now, this has been proven that as we think, we are. Jesus even taught this. And so we have to change our thinking and create better thoughts, better emotions, hang out with better people. We need to shift our consciousness. And believe it or not, that extends out from our auric field and helps others. Now the next slide, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself on the screen you guys are watching. So the moment you begin the process of change and step into the emotions of it, so you have to make heightened emotions such as love, compassion, joy, bliss, and you can get all these when you meditate. And that's why it's so important to meditate and to breathe, because we change our emotions to a higher state. I always come out of my meditation in bliss and happiness, and I know that happiness is affecting my pancreas, and that's why when I just stated my pancreas, I started making some insulin last night. Kind of freaked my wife out and me out, but you know, we can manifest whatever we desire. And sometimes when we're crossing into that, it's unfamiliar. And so if you feel unfamiliar, uncomfortable, crossing into the river of change is an unknown. But it allows us to create a new reality in the void in our present moment. And that's what we have to do. So we need to evolve through making ourselves into a higher state. And let me tell you, some people, we've done bad things, and those bad things come into our minds when we're trying to evolve. And we think, oh, I'm unworthy and all this crap. Well, don't feel uncomfortable. Don't feel unfamiliar. Know that God is love. God does not judge us. So we can cross that river of change into a higher state of consciousness. It may feel uncomfortable. It may feel unfamiliar. But we can do it, and we should do it, and create a new reality. Okay. So, the moment we draw our energy away from the old self and enter into the river of flow of change, put that same energy and think about the new reality you really want, you really desire in that void, creating a new future. So we create what we desire right now in this moment, so it creates a new future. Because if any little change we make in our life draws us closer to that evolution. And so every time we go to the void and create what we truly desire, it brings us closer to that. And so you create a new future, the one you truly desire, and it manifests. Boy, I tell you, I've got to look at my insulin in a whole different way because I'm moving into not needing insulin anymore. So I've got to be very careful with what I'm creating and follow it with good kinesiology and testing, because it's quite interesting how quickly we can do these things. The old model of reality is cause and effect. In other words, Newtonian. Whatever energy you put into an object, you'll get an equal and opposite reaction. That's not true anymore. We've moved into a new reality where our thoughts don't have an opposite reaction. Our thoughts have a congruent effect and a reaction from creation. We are in that ability and time when we are creating a new reality. And so thought equals effect. We never have cause and effect anymore. We're going to have effect from our thoughts. Gratitude is the ultimate form of receivership. It leads to signals to our DNA. They've actually found whenever you are grateful, it opens up our DNA, and guess what happens with the DNA? It makes repairs and becomes more perfect, and it repairs the cells and they become more perfect. So gratitude also vibrates in unconditional love. So having an attitude of gratitude will actually help you evolve. And it evolves us through our DNA. So when we get that 24 strands of DNA and we are grateful, all 24 strands are opening up and creating reality for us. And whatever we manifest during that state of gratitude is going to come true. So changes in our structure of our DNA changes the structure of our body, every cell in our body. You know, they used to say it would take 7 years to change every cell in your body. That's not true anymore. You can change the body in an instant through doing the correct effects and thoughts and adding a higher emotion. And you literally, we've seen people healing instantly when they do this. And so changes in our structure and reality, changing the future to our thoughts, creating through thought. So that is the new reality. Now, the old reality, usually we'd have to go through a crisis. We'd look at our life through that crisis and go, shoot, we need to change. And so we take time to repent, do this and that, and eventually make changes. And sometimes the time we'd go back to doing the same stupid stuff. But now in the quantum reality, thought goes straight to change. Change goes straight to a new reality, a new timeline. Now, I could go more into this, but you know, I've talked about timelines before, and a lot of people, they have trouble understanding this, but we can exist in multiple timelines. Now, you want your energy to be on one timeline. And so when you do change reality, you need to make sure you're congruent with your thoughts, your emotions, and your desires. And that way you create just that one timeline where you go in and you're a better person, a more evolved person, and you will get yourself ready for the ascension. Clear intention with elevated emotions manifest a new state of being. Miraculous. Miracles happen. and they're going to happen faster and quicker than we can